Hey guys, happy Thursday. Oh man, my tan line's bad from my sunglasses. So today I've done over 50 of these Turner happy hours at this point, and it's funny because the topics just keep coming. At some point, I think I'm going to run out, and then I just get more. So today, I want to talk about consistency in our language, in our cueing, in our coaching. So I see a lot of people during a class, and they're cueing great, they're coaching great, but something that they're doing that's a little off-putting is that they're using different terminology for the same thing. So let me give you a couple examples so you understand what I'm saying. So a lot of people will say, bring it down to the saddle or bring it down to first, and then like first position, and they switch back and forth between what they say, which is fine for us, right? Instructors, we know what you're talking about. For riders, it's a little bit confusing because they almost need to have the same name for everything, so they know exactly what you're talking about. So another example, if you do choreography, if you say travel back versus sliding back or tapping back, or you're doing presses, or you call them crunches, or you call them, so there's a lot of different things that people use for that terminology. And if you change it up in the middle of the ride, it really throws the riders because they have to be able to do it quickly and get it, and it almost needs to be just like natural as soon as they hear it. But if they have to think about it, it kind of slows their momentum down. I had another example that I was going to say. But in general, it's regarding positioning and kind of what you're doing on the bike and all those different things, even just in terms of describing the pedal stroke. So if you say you're in the saddle and you're sprinting versus running, or doing pickups or surges, all those terms, you have to make sure that your riders understand what it is, and if you are consistent with it. So choose one thing to describe. So you say sprinting, not running, and then that's what you use every class. So does that make sense? So I see a lot of people who kind of switch back and forth, and it can be confusing to riders. And it like I said, it kind of slows their momentum. It makes them have to think about it and step back, and then they get a little bit confused as to what you're talking about. And that's when you'll see riders doing different things than what you're doing because they don't totally know what you're doing. So I was in a class the other day where people were she used the example that I said, hey Kim, she used the example that I said down to the saddle versus down to first. And we were pushing out in third, and she said down to first, but she had only been saying down to the saddle before. So people looked up, they were a little confused. Some of them moved up to second and put their hands in it. They didn't really know. So I know it seems super simple, but for instructors, because you guys know what you're doing, but for riders, we have to keep that consistency. It's a weird thing, but I see it a lot, and that's what I like to share in these Turner happy hours, right? I want to share the things that a lot of people don't notice they're doing, but make big difference. So make sure you watch your language and try to, where you can, be consistent with it. So any questions on that, ask them in the comments. I just wanted to remind you guys one more time, I have one more spot for TNT sessions, so instructor evaluations, tune-up, troubleshoot. I probably could have kept that name a little bit longer. Basically what we're doing, if you're interested, I'm taking, I think I have 4 people right now. We do a little Q&A, so I get to know them a little bit, and then they film themselves riding. I critique them. It's the best way to learn. Kim will tell you. She loves it. It's just a one-off, so you don't have to join the champions to do this. I figured I want people to see how valuable it is just in a one session. So then I watch your video, we'll get on the phone, we go through everything, and I'll give you some tips as to how to improve your ride. So if you're interested in that, I always forget to put the link in there. I'll drop it in the comments. Yes, I love that, Alyssa. Alyssa said, everything in the fitness industry depends on consistency. Love this. It really does, doesn't it, huh? Good point. All right. So I will drop TNT sessions in the comments, and I think that's all I have for you guys today. I know it's a short and sweet idea. Look at the sun. It's like glowing behind me. But it is really important. So if you missed the beginning of this video, go back and watch it. Consistency is key in our language, and you want to make sure you pay attention to that. So next class you do, just start to notice your language and start to notice what you're using and maybe what you're changing up. Okay, guys, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you next week. Bye.